Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Dumpster Diaries. I am Moses Wartooth and I'm here with Justin Allen, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about and some weird stuff. So what do we got today starting us off, Justin?
Oh man, the North Koreans are at it again, dude.
Those sneaky Chinamans. And they're always getting into schemes and scams,
Yeah.
but they need help from their fellow Americans.
Yeah,
too,
dude, they're always like pushing all kinds of shit and stuff. But man, this scam that they pulled was actually really clever. It escalates very quickly. I'll say that.
Yeah, it goes into like a you're like okay, and then it just.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that bad at first. You're like, oh, okay, it's just people, getting a job, making some money or whatever. And then you find out where that money's going, and then it's like, holy crap, dude. That woman, oh my God, man. Like that, I mean, imagine just being in her situation, but we can go ahead and roll it. And
let's see what you guys think about this.
Helping the North Korean government avoid sanctions and bringing millions for the country's weapons program. The indictment was unsealed this week, alleging that 49-year-old Christina Chapman helped North Korea plant people at prominent companies across the country. 12 News journalist William Pitts explains how the scheme worked.
The feds say Christina Chapman was running what they called a laptop farm, making it seem like the people she was helping were here in the U.S. In reality, they were in North Korea.
According to the federal indictment, Christina Chapman was working out of her house in Litchfield Park. Someone approached her on LinkedIn, asking her to be the U.S. face of their company. What that meant was getting paid to run what the FBI calls a laptop farm for the North Koreans. Here's how the scheme worked. The feds say North Korea wanted to place its people in IT positions at U.S. companies. They say Chapman helped them. Then when they got the jobs, they would get company laptops. The indictment says she would plug them in and let the North Koreans connect to them remotely. In exchange, she charged a monthly fee. And the North Koreans were paid as IT professionals, and the money went right to the North Korean weapons programs that are under international sanctions. The indictment says North Korea got $6.8 million.
They can pull a missile launch off between $2 and $5 million.
Michael Barnhart is an analyst and North Korea expert at Mandiant Cybersecurity.
Really, you got to think of North Korea as less of a government and as more of a criminal enterprise.
Barnhart says between these schemes and straight-up theft and ransom, North Korea is getting a lot of money, and the one that Chapman was indicted for is only one of many.
There are more, for sure. And this is the scary part, because it's not just, hey, we're helping you get a job. You're helping the enemy get the job, and the payments from that job are going to supply weapons that could come back to harm you down the road.
It's unclear whether Chapman ever knew she was helping North Koreans. The indictment shows she did raise concerns about stolen identities and doing things that were illegal. Chapman is charged with 9 counts, including conspiracy to defraud the U.S. government.
She knew what she was doing, man.
I mean, at first when she was approached, like a LinkedIn job, oh, okay, this won't be a big deal, but then eventually it's just like, holy shit, dude. But I like the way that they did the news on that one. They were like, and it went directly to the weapons program. It's just like, holy crap,
literally funding missiles for the people who want to kill us.
Oh man.
But another thing of that, like, they were working for Fortune 500 companies, and they got their laptops, so they had access to their all those companies' information, which is valuable to them anyway.
Sure.
So they were they were getting paid to figure out their company secrets and shit.
Probably not even really about the money, man. It's just
that was just like a bonus.
It's like, oh, cool. By the way, we're getting paid to do this.
Yeah, we get to fucking hack into Microsoft and look and see what they're doing and shit.
Dude. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see whatever comes out of that, if anything. I mean, it could be as simple as I don't know. They just got jobs and just gave it to their own government or whatever, But North Korea is always up to some shit, man.
They are. Well, I mean, like that dude said, they're more of a criminal organization than an actual country.
Because I remember, did you ever hear about them counterfeiting U.S. dollars?
Yeah.
Dude, it is wild. So I watched this thing.
Are they the number one producer of counterfeit money?
They, at least when I
thought they were.
A few years ago when I was reading into this, they were. They were the best producers of counterfeit $100 bills.
But I mean, whenever you have your entire government that's like, okay, this is good to go, you don't have to hide from anyone, so they can just put all their resources into making the best product.
Yeah, dude. And so what I watched was a documentary, and they had the Secret Service in there, because big part of their job, the whole reason Secret Service was created was to stop counterfeiters, right? And especially during the Civil War, counterfeiting was a huge fucking problem, you know? And because, you know, how do you weaken your enemy? You just make their currency worthless by making more, you know? But
funny how we're actively doing that now.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, right? Yeah. You know? And which did you know back during the Civil War, if you got caught counterfeiting currency, you were executed, like,
damn,
on the spot. Yeah. So it was a risky venture if you were going to get into that, you know?
They didn't play around with that shit.
But the North Koreans are like the best at counterfeiting $100 bills, like U.S. $100 bills. And they're so good that the Secret Service has said that there's times where they can't even tell the difference between them. And they call them super notes. And I was like, what? And they said our best bet is just to try to intercept them before they even like come into the United States.
So then that they can use them.
Yeah, but they're probably they're probably giving them to the Chinese. There's probably something like that going on. And also, interesting enough, North Korea is the number one producer of methamphetamines in the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they cook a shit ton of meth over there.
Because again, like if your government is backing you, if you have no like. There's no repercussions and your government is straight up backing you up. Well, the government's the one who's doing that shit in the first place. So
you imagine them just sitting at like the round table, you know, like trying to figure out like, okay, like we got like budgets, like we need to figure out how are we going to pay for our weapons program, like all this other stuff. And then, you know, kind of
they're like, we got counterfeit, we got meth money, we got laptop farms in the U.S.
Methamphetamine are very good. The Americans are like a meth. You know?
Dude, hell, I've been
more Japanese than anything.
True. Yeah.
But apparently they ship a shit ton of meth to the United States too, man. So, but they sell a lot of it to like Europe, but they'll give it to like traffickers through China and stuff like that. And there's been like allegations the Chinese government is actually in on it too.
Dude, I'm sure. I mean, why wouldn't they be?
Well, because China also carries a death penalty for drugs.
Yeah,
but I'm sure that they got some trucks where it's like probably honestly Chinese military picking up freaking cargo, and it's just like hundreds of pounds, honestly probably tons of methamphetamines. Yeah. And I would imagine it's probably getting pushed into places like Russia and Eastern Europe and stuff like that, you know.
Anywhere that'll take it.
Yeah. Fuck, man, North Koreans. I mean, dog, think about it. I'm just going to say this. Like, the inner guys, right? The inner circle guys. If they could leave or whatever, say hypothetically, take a trip to like America. Dude, they got the best mess in the world. They just got bands.
They got fucking stacks of
hundreds. Like, they're just having a good time, man.
You would want to party with those guys.
Annyeong haseyo, motherfuckers, let's do this, you know?
Fucking pass the soju.
Yeah, let's fucking do this. I bet it's like, they're higher up leaders. I bet it is a good time. Like,
oh, I'm sure,
behind the scenes, like when those doors close and there's no one sees this stuff, I bet booze, probably drugs, women,
like whatever.
Like, yeah, dude, good time. Man.
I mean, yeah, because they probably live like the fucking cartel.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
yeah, dude. And there's like tigers on chains.
Yeah,
and shit,
dude.
You know,
and then fucking importing Hennessy and cheeseburgers and shit.
Yeah, like his dad, like apparently drank like a bottle of Hennessy a day.
Yeah, I remember I read about it. They would like import a pallet. He was like North Korea was like the number one importer of Hennessy.
Yeah. But he drinks some like super rare like cognac or some shit too. Like, I don't know. I remember reading something where apparently it was like $100,000 a bottle or some shit like that. Like,
dude,
it was
cognac.
Like,
I fucking hate cognac.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah,
dude, it's one of those things. If it just touches my tongue, I instantly throw up, man.
It's bad.
That and tequila. Tequila, I think is just disgusting.
I like tequila. I don't know how people can stomach cognac, but
nah, man. I was always certain whiskeys, but like vodka.
Vodka's my number one go-to.
Because vodka, if you mix it just right, like
vodka, you can mix it with anything.
Literally anything, you know. But like everything else has like its own taste to it. You know, like I mean, when I was in Germany, I went through a Scotch phase for a little while, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna drink Scotch and do it. And some of them I liked, you know, but then some of them were like, whoa, good God.
Some of them are like fucking. Well, that's to be said about just about anything. Yeah. But like some of them, I remember was like my grandpa used to fucking. He was drank Glenfiddich.
Oh, yeah. I've had that a few times.
That shit, it just tasted like straight up lighter fluid.
Yeah, that was an acquired taste.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? Like, but man, yeah, I don't know. North Korea, dude, like, I mean, at the end of the day, they got almost $7 million for their weapons program out of that, and that's just one scam that we caught. Imagine how many hundreds more are going on.
Because that was just one woman that got busted for that one little scenario.
And that's just one country too. That's just America.
Yeah.
They're probably doing that in Canada,
for
Mexico,
sure. They're probably doing it all
in Europe.
anywhere they can.
Anywhere they can, dude. So they're probably making out. Damn, it's almost like that entire country's like source of revenue is always some shady. I mean, maybe that guy said it right. You got to think of them as more of a criminal organization than an actual country, dude.
They just sit around like
gangsters.
They treat their people like absolute dog shit, and then just sit around and think of ways to scheme and scam.
Just like an old school hustler. Like a Mississippi pimp or some shit, baby, we gotta make this money.
Go in there and fucking hustle pool games and shit too.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I mean, there's wild shit like always happening coming out of North Korea, dude, and it's never not entertaining.
No, it's always like scary, like on the verge of shit. They're about to they're about to launch this shit or push that button or do something crazy, or they're just doing some fucking money laundering.
I still just get a kick out of like when Trump was president or whatever, and he was just going back and forth with Kim Jong.
Oh yeah,
man, like calling him like Rocket Man and like all this other shit, like taunting him, like talking shit over Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, that shit, that was the golden age, man. That shit.
I was
so
in
funny.
South Korea when that shit was going down, and I was like, oh my god, I was in there. I believe I was there, if I remember right, when he was like Kim Jong Un said, "I have a button," and then Trump was like, "Well, I have a bigger button."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh my god, you did not just say that." And then we just ended up working like 12-hour shifts or whatever for like standby, and they're like, "It's gonna happen any minute."
They're fucking based on lockdown, like.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like, but North Korea is entertaining, and I think
it's honestly a very interesting country.
It is.
Like even down to their fake, like that entire fake city they have. Like you go out there for a tour and everything is like completely staged, and they keep everything, and there's no photos, none of that shit. It's all weird.
It'd be cool to go on a tour there, but like I would be super scared being there. Like I'd be on edge 24/7.
I would be okay with going there, but I would just feel like that I probably wasn't gonna be able, like, I was just gonna get stuck over there.
Yeah, you're just gonna become a prisoner.
Yeah.
Because you stood in front of a picture of like their supreme leader.
And didn't fucking do whatever, salute him or bow to him or whatever.
Dude, I bet their food tastes like shit over there, dude.
I'm sure it is, man.
I bet it's dog shit.
I mean,
man.
all of their the average citizen is malnourished as fuck.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Like when I was in South Korea, I met some guys who ran a private organization or whatever to help North Korean refugees integrate into South Korean society. And they would just tell us like weird stuff, and some of these guys were North Korean refugees. Dude, when someone makes it out of North Korea, like the South Korean government like literally like spends like half a day, shows them a bunch of videos like the real history of the world,
like what's actually been going on, to try to brainwash them.
Gives them like $100 and puts them out the door. Like, talk about the biggest mind fuck ever. That would be like us living now, and then one day someone's just like, oh, it's actually the year like 2250. We have time travel. There's flying cars. Like, diseases are no longer a thing. Like, what?
It would be like a Civil War person coming to right now. Like,
yeah, dude. It would just be crazy as hell, dude.
Because do they allow their I know if they do allow their citizens to have internet, it's like very controlled, but I don't know if they allow them to have it or not.
It's more like a local network. They're not connected to
like I know they can't look at shit from the outside world.
Yeah. So it's like really, really contained. I mean, obviously they got internet, they're pulling these schemes.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, but that nonprofit org, those guys I talked to, man, one thing they told me I never even thought about it, they said that the dialects between the North and South are so different that when North Koreans make it to South Korea, people really can't understand.
Oh, they have a hard time actually translating? Damn.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm sure they're speaking like the old school traditional whatever, and then the new South Koreans have like
a lot of influence from all over the world, But I mean, it was kind of cool what those guys did. They were like, so we get them into housing, we get them jobs, like we get them sponsors, make sure, because it's got to be a total like just mind fuck, dude. Like, could you imagine? But it would be cool. I would like to see North Korea. Like, I think that would be a wild story, but reality is there's no way in hell that I'm going there, man. You know?
Unless you're Dennis Rodman. That's about it.
Yeah, you got to become like a famous basketball player, you know? It was so funny because like at times where like the tension is extremely high between our government and theirs, it'd be like Dennis Rodman getting on a plane and going there.
Yeah.
And you know for a fact, before and after Rodman's trip, you know the CIA was crawling all over his ass and was just like, okay, what was said? What did you notice anything?
Oh yeah, they probably bug all his shit and fucking.
It was almost like that, probably almost like that movie, The Interview or whatever.
Oh yeah,
with like James Franco and Seth Rogen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it probably really is.
But yeah, man, that was a good story. I mean, you know, it escalated quick, but you know, they got their almost $7 million for their weapons program. So, good job, North Korea.
Yeah. Until next time.
Hey, at least they're outsourcing and funding their stuff, you know, versus like us. We just print more money and just, you know.
Or hell, we just donate. I mean, we just send out pallets of money to other countries. At least they're working. They had jobs. They worked at Fortune 500 companies.
You know what?
At the end of the day, they could go home and tell their families, "I worked for this cash."
I worked for America.
Not many people can say that.
Oh man. Anyway, man, speaking about places all over the world and like being connected and stuff like that, I want to talk about that portal that was between New York City and Dublin, Ireland.
Oh yeah.
That is a funny thing, man.
And how in less than a week the people fucked it up for everybody.
Dude, as soon as they announced they were going to do that and they were like, "We're going to put it in Dublin, Ireland," I was like, "What?" And then
New York.
In New York, I was like, "What?"
Flashing a dead guy is one thing, but how about dozens of people across the planet?
What do you expect, right? Like, I feel like that's bound to happen.
On Tuesday, an art installation in Manhattan called The Portal got shut down before even making it a week. The idea was for New Yorkers to be able to connect with folks 3,000 miles away in Dublin, Ireland via a 24/7 live stream. But then, you know.
I saw some of the TikToks.
People were flashing and flipping the bird. Wait, hold on, New Yorkers? What? Even though there has been security guarding the installation around the clock, it apparently became time for a reset. Here is the moment they pulled the plug, with a message that now reads, "Portal is asleep, back up soon."
That was so fun. I don't know why they were taking it away.
I don't know. I think it's different and everybody should be able to do it.
It's uniting the world. That's right.
In a statement, the group running the portal, called the Flatiron Nomad Partnership, said, quote, "The portal team and our partners in Dublin are working on additional solutions, including software updates to limit such behavior appearing on the live stream." And for good measure, here's one more idea from a local.
I feel like it should be closed at 8 or 9 p.m. New York time.
Yeah,
and
drunk
also
people
like
like
curfew. Kind of.
What exactly am I trying to say? These are a bunch of elephants.
But even with the curfew on the American side, you know, the Irish could still have some fun, too.
It goes both ways, right? Two-end stream. What do you think?
I heard they were behaving badly on the other side as well.
I heard.
Yeah, they were. They were. Yeah. It was not just New York.
Reporters in Dublin.
Yeah, dude. And we've both been to, like, Ireland. Like, they get down, man. Like, yeah. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of fun in games. Okay, you could say, all right, the public nudity is one thing, right? But, like, flipping the bird and, like, talking.
I mean, honestly,
shit, they're doing it
that's
back.
Expected.
Yeah. And
like, you can't have. You're never going to have that scenario where that shit doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's just fun. Like, it's funny.
But I'm surprised they didn't put, like, a curfew on it, you know?
Yeah, because, you know, like, 2 a.m., like, homeless men are going to be jerking off on front of the thing or something like weird.
Because I think, what is it, Ireland is 6 hours ahead from the East Coast?
I don't remember. It's probably, like, close to that.
6 or 5, I can't remember.
Because England is, like, 8 or 9, so...
Well, from Central England is, but from the East Coast, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, they could have definitely done it, but I'm surprised that never even came up, like, remotely. I was like, have you been to New York City after midnight? Like, dude, what the fuck?
But I mean, I did read I read another story about the one of the girls who flashed. She had an OnlyFans, and after that, she made like so much money off of that shit.
Really?
So she used it as a goddamn publicity stunt and fucking made money.
Dude, that is actually really genius.
It really is. It really
is. That
is
really genius. Holy crap, dude.
So again, respect to her, because that's cool.
So we just need to go up. We just need to go pull some stuff like that.
Yeah. Hang some dong up there at 3 a.m. or something.
Whip out our cocks. And like one of us shows a dick, and then the other one's just holding a sign that says, "Don't forget to like and subscribe to our podcast."
Yeah, be wrapped up in the coon flag, DDP flashing like
shaking it around and then running off. You know. Oh my god, like one of those old school flashers, you know? Like
Yeah,
walking
yeah,
around
the
like
old
a trench
coat,
coat,
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a cool idea, you know. But you mean to tell me like the conversation never came up of like, hey, there's gonna be like crude or lewd behavior that's gonna occur with this?
Because you know 100% the first time people see even in your in cars like driving by, if you know they're like passing you, fucking flip them off for the fun of it, like
yeah.
And if you know that there's like that barrier, you're gonna do funny shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, a private organization set it up, so the government didn't do it. Because at first I was like, did the government pay for this? Like, I mean, it's kind of cool if they did, you know, like whatever, like something cool for like the community. But then, like, I don't know, how can you just shut it down and be so stupid? I don't know, you know. But do you want to talk about our next subject, though? Speaking of governments.
Yeah, let's move on to the next because this is like, it's funny, but it's just holy shit.
It makes you scratch your head and go, what the fuck? Somebody signed off on this shit?
Yeah, and continues to do so.
Uh-huh.
As a recovering addict yourself, is this a good idea?
No, it's not a good idea. And not when you consider the fact that over the last 4 years, San Francisco spent $20 million to basically service a total of a couple of hundred people during that 4-year period by giving them free vodka and beer. You know, for that amount of money, we could have funded 60 drug treatment beds instead. So you really have to ask, where's the recovery in all of this? And what is the desired outcome of this program? They say it'll save money, but, you know, we just spent $20 million over the last 4 years. So you have to really ask, is it saving money and is it making a difference?
Yeah, they say their goal is to keep people out of the ER and reduce calls to cops. Do you think giving homeless alcoholics free booze will accomplish that goal?
Well, you know what also accomplishes that goal is actually drug treatment. So no, you know, it may reduce those calls and thereby save money. But again, we're spending $5 million a year to give people free alcohol, it's kind of like, you know, I'm a recovering heroin addict that used to live on the street. If you just, you know, were spending $5 million to give me less heroin than what I was already taking, guess what? I'd still be on the street today or I'd be dead from using. So I don't really see.
That was like the best guy they could have do that interview, too.
For sure. Yeah.
He's like, I've actually been there.
Like, I'm a recovering heroin addict.
Holy shit, man. So they spent California, man. That's God.
Like
$5 million on just free booze. For homeless people.
How does that even make sense for from any perspective? Even if you were the most liberal, progressive person imaginable.
Yeah, dude.
I don't get that.
Now,
you're first of all, if you ask any rehab person, you're straight up enabling their addiction. So how is it's literally never the fucking thing you want to do.
And I like how they said that, you know, their point to do that is to make it easier for the police, so there's less calls and stuff like that. I mean, that sounds like some Roman emperor shit where it's just like, oh, give the masses free food to keep them happy so they don't riot and burn down the city, you know? But
yeah, do you think that as long as they're getting the free booze, they're not having to rob people or something, or what is that? What the logic
I don't know, man, because the way I see it, I would imagine giving them booze would cause more problems, you know? That's
true.
People being drunk, you know, saying crazy shit, breaking into stuff, fighting or whatever. I mean, just go to your local dive bar. You'll just see that, you know?
Yeah, that's a good
point.
This
is what San Francisco looks like.
But they get it for free.
It would be kind of dope just to go down there and be like, hey, yeah, can I get some shit real fast? And then just
just walk in there and be like, I ain't got no money. Can I have a drink?
Yeah, I don't know, but the city had to sign off on that. That's the craziest part, man.
Yeah, some obviously multiple people thought it was a good idea. That's not just a one person thing.
It would be no one stopped and was like, wait a minute, hold on. Because, I mean, the next step is you're just going to start handing out smack. You know?
I mean, they do that too.
Fucking here you go, man.
Fucking, what is that? What's that shit called?
Basically, not Narcan, Suboxone.
Methadone clinics or whatever.
Yeah. I'm talking about the shit that actually gets you high, man. You know, give you that good shit. Be like, here is crack. Have a good day, sir.
Be like, we don't like you doing it, but if you're going to do it, Do it with us. Like whenever you're underage, your parents are like, you can drink, just don't leave the house.
Man, just California just never ceases to amaze me. But San Francisco specifically,
like they really go.
Yeah,
they go
man.
for gold.
And what gets me is like the city council, like all those people, like no logical person could think that's a good idea. And
No.
every person should be pissed off about them spending $5 million of taxpayer money
on booze.
On booze, not even for you, for homeless people. Like, here you go, dude. You know, that's like the biggest fuck you ever, right?
Yeah.
You know,
like imagine a mom and pop business, all their taxes just goes to the local homeless man to buy him some fucking vodka.
Hey, you know who fucking won in that?
The homeless man?
The liquor stores.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? They make the money from the sales. They're getting the tax money back. All this, it just comes full circle, man. Yeah, the liquor stores won on that, man.
Probably need to check into their lobbyists. I mean, they're probably raking it in out there.
It's probably dirty as shit.
I'm sure it is, man. I mean, they're not the only business that's profiting off.
You know how no one goes to city council meetings? Like, what if a lot of people, the majority of people, just showed up to like one meeting where actually just like
heads of Smirnoff and shit,
gangs of like liquor store owners or like heads of like Anheuser-Busch, you know, like Bud Light trying to make a comeback, you know, like come on, you know? It could be something like that. Who knows? But dude, I don't know. Fuck, maybe I don't know. Maybe city council members like were they drunk, like drunk when that shit?
Maybe so. Maybe
like,
they're
they made that
maybe
decision?
they're going in there and getting some free booze after the end of every meeting.
Dude,
but I
holy
mean,
shit.
anyone that has known anyone that's an alcoholic knows that shit makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
And everybody knows alcoholics. Like alcohol is like everyone knows an alcoholic, and most people, at least somebody, is related to fucking.
Like the reality about it is like you just have to stop.
Yeah.
And you know,
and going in and knowing that you can go to this one place every day and get it for free, is not going to encourage you to stop.
No, not at all. You know, so, but like you know, they had that guy on there they were interviewing or whatever, and he said that $5 million could have filled 60 like full-on rehab treatment beds.
Yeah.
Like that's 60 people that have been could have been completely like treated in a rehab facility, gotten all the medical attention they need, the counseling, all that stuff, given a leg up, probably a freaking job, a place to stay when they get out, all the other stuff. But they don't want to clean the streets.
Instead, they just gave him a bottle of vodka.
Like, here you go, buddy. You know, and it almost makes you wonder, like, are they intentionally trying to keep this problem going? And if so, why?
I mean, I think it ties in to the homeless problem, which they also profit because the homeless issue is a fucking scam, which is what we're about to get into also. But I think all that shit goes hand in hand. I think it's a lot more sinister than we're like.
Yeah, we're kind of
even
joking
able
around.
To believe
like,
about.
It's almost hard for us to even like imagine connecting those dots because you'd have to be a horrible human being to even think about like really being like, hey, we're just going to exploit our own people, our own citizens, like ruin their lives.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna stay in power and we're gonna make all this
profit.
Money. And we're getting the yacht and the McMansion. That's what we're doing.
Building up the backs of the homeless.
And you know, like all the research we've done for this show, like not just this episode, but just in general, man, like
the world's a fucked up place.
It's a fucked up place, and it's a lot more connected than what people realize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of you'll be like, oh, this is a scam that happened in New York City or whatever, and then there could be like something else going on like Miami, Florida, completely different. But then if you really look into it, you'll be like, wait a minute, that guy knows that guy. And then it's just like, oh my god, like all these people just work together and they just help each other out, man. So
it's all one big spider web of scams.
All one big happy family.
That's right, dude. I'm sure those fucking North Koreans are tied in with it somehow.
Dude, what if it came down? It was North Koreans
funding the booze.
North Koreans are funding the booze, man. Like,
I mean, $5 million, you can buy a lot of MD 2020 with that shit.
Just passing out Mad
Boone's Farm.
4 Locos and Boone's Farm. Let's do this.
God.
Dude.
Dude, there's no way you're going to tell me that crime rate would not spike with that shit.
I mean, as a social experiment, like if they actually kept data, which would be the hardest part and it'd be the biggest nightmare, but if they could actually keep data on those individuals,
dude, they should just embed them with trackers.
I think it's the next
step. You want the fucking bottle of booze? We got to put this little implant in you, like a bird. They track the migration habits of like stumbling around.
Track the migration habits of the homeless. Like comes on the news like a warning, like
dude, like fucking Santa tracker, but it's or like the active flights every day. It's just been a homeless map,
just a cloud of homeless people. Like holy shit!
Like he went to the check cashing place, and then he went to the 7-Eleven, and then he went and picked up his daily bottle. All right.
Dude, holy shit, man! That would be amazing if they did that, and if the North Koreans were behind all of this. You know, could be the Chinese somehow. I mean, realistically,
they could. They're always pulling some kind of strings.
I mean, if you want to look at like money being like lobbied and stuff like that, and I don't know. I mean, because like a Chinese citizen come over here and like open a business, and like how many stories have we seen where it's like, oh, some of these people that have gotten caught working directly for the CCP.
Yeah.
You know, doing various things or whatever, but. I don't know. Because I guess some of these problems, I'm like, there's no way like a legitimate American citizen would be like
on board with this,
actively destroy my country or my city or like, you know, or my neighborhood even, you know, like.
I mean, yeah, you would think that, but dude, there's just so many cases of it where it seems to be that they're just totally fine with it.
They're just like, fuck it, burn it all down.
They're like, I live in the moment, not tomorrow, right now.
I don't give a shit about the future, you know?
I guess.
Yeah, man, so who knows? But I definitely just don't think giving booze to the homeless is a good idea, man. I don't think that's gonna...
No, I don't. I think they should at least have to pay or beg for it. Like,
I wonder if they're just like going around, like, is it like... You know, handing them actual like containers, like here's a whole bottle of vodka, right? Because that seems really irresponsible.
Well, I think what I've read in another thing was they had like buildings like centers, and they said they had centers, and one of them like they did like
you mean bars?
Basically, dude, they went in there and they said one of them had 3 kegs set up, and they were just giving them cups of shit.
So they just built bars for the homeless,
basically,
where they don't have to pay a tab.
Yeah.
And now you put it that way, it sounds kind of dope. I ain't gonna lie.
And how do they differentiate between a homeless man and like?
Not like you have an ID for it.
Yeah.
You know, like you got your card.
I guess you just mess your hair up and walk in there like, can I get a drink?
Dude, we should
go, sir.
Dude, if we ever had to go to San Francisco, we should just like walk in, like just looking like this, and be like, "Yeah, we're actually homeless." So,
I mean, they would definitely give me a drink.
I bet it's a wild bar though.
Oh, shit, I'm sure.
Because I'm thinking a full-on bar, like dim lights, neons. You know, there's sports replays on the teleprompter. If you're there during the week, you get to pretend like you care about women's tennis or golf. You know, but like when they don't have like
actual
major sports on,
entertaining shit.
Oh, that's always the worst, man. Especially you've been somewhere like in the middle of the day and it's just like only golf playing on TV, and you're like, my God, like how hard would it be to get an NBA game on the screen?
Yeah.
But yeah, I bet it'd be a cool place. Probably be like very violent,
dude. It would be awesome to wear those fucking glasses with the cameras on them, the hidden camera deals, and just go in there and
be like, this is what it's like. Hey, so anybody listening who lives in San Francisco, like you should go down there and spy in on that.
Get on Temu, buy you some fucking $2 spy glasses, and go in there and let us know how that goes.
It comes full circle, man. I don't know, dude. But California, dude, they never cease to amaze me, man. Just like the next video we're going to watch.
No. Really goes back to the homeless issue, but dude, it's insane. Like, again, how can you think this is good?
Yeah, like how do these people keep getting elected?
I don't know.
Whatever, man.
Losing $20 billion. That's what's happening in California this week, where under Gavin Newsom's watch, the state spent $20 billion over the last 5 years to combat homelessness. And the number of homeless people increased. So when auditors asked to see where the money was spent, no one had any idea. It turns out the state's homeless council just threw money at homeless nonprofits, but didn't track how much or how the nonprofits spent it. So lawmakers demanded a hearing, and it was a hot mess. Watch.
What's the money been spent on?
Kelly Siege is working on finalizing its HAP annual report and hope to have that published in short order.
Why is it taking 3 years to get data? The system was implemented in 2021.
So HJS began in 2021. It wasn't fully implemented until 2022.
Okay, that's still 2 years ago. Why is it taking so? I mean, you're the one that said you're urgent. I don't know, maybe my sense of urgency is different from your sense of urgency. You can't tell us at all how many people we've helped.
No, they can't. It's like a car accident. You don't want to look, but you can't stop.
You're talking about what happened in those 2 years. A lot of that is grantees using a data system they'd never used before, getting used to it, getting substantial technical assistance, us getting back bad data, needing to go have further conversations, and then needing to go work on cleaning up that data.
So they lost $20 billion because of technical difficulties? Imagine.
Oh my gosh, man. That guy who was grilling them, I like that guy.
Yeah,
man.
he's good.
He's asking like the right questions,
Yeah.
man. You know,
And he was not letting them cut away with some bullshit either.
Yeah,
He
we
was
need
like,
more- we
So
need-
2 years, all right. I guess my sense of urgency is different from yours.
we need more people like that in
We do.
office, man.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was watching, I kind of like did the math, right? So that was $20 billion.
Mhm.
Okay, billion dollars. It's gonna be huge. It's $1 billion. We're about to get on that guy in a minute, dude. So he's coming up. But I don't. Do you? All right. I know we hate doing this like in the middle of the show, man. Can you Google how many homeless people are in? That was all of California, though. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just Google how many homeless people are in California, because I'm just curious something, and I'll talk while you do that. So I did a little bit of math, right? So you say 1 million fits into 1 billion 1,000 times, right?
Mhm.
So then you had 20 billion. So that's 20,000 people you could have given $1 million to and turned them into millionaires. So what have we got?
Okay, the estimate is 181,000.
Okay, call it 180, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking at what? Roughly, ballpark it, 10% impact on eliminating the home. Not only stop eliminating the homeless problem by 10%, but you turned them into millionaires. You know what I mean? Cut that money in half, man. So now you got 40,000 people. I mean, that's a lot of freaking money, man.
Each person could have got over $110,000.
It just made the problem go away. And you know what? And sure, man, there's a lot of addiction issues, a lot of mental health issues. There's some people just down on their luck. But I almost would feel more comfortable to be like, dude, just give them $100,000. Here's $100,000 each. Go do whatever the fuck you want to do. Just get off the streets. Because if you're on the streets, whatever, have some consequence, or you don't get the $100,000. Like, whatever. Like, do your thing. I don't fuck it. And to me, it makes more sense than giving it to like these nonprofits that can't even explain where they spent a single dollar.
Dude, I feel like as soon as okay, so California's like, okay, we set all this money aside for the homeless. I feel like some smart people were like, yo, let's start a fucking nonprofit called Help for the Homeless, and then submit our form to that and be like, cool, we just got fucking $6 billion or some shit. Like, because what I was reading about it was divided up mainly in between 5 different nonprofits.
Yeah.
So,
and they all got paid super high salaries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Man, because I remember one time I was watching on Joe Rogan, I think he had a guest on that broke it down one day, but they went through and they were looking at it. Some of those people are getting paid like over like $250,000 a year. Like,
yep.
And it's not just like, oh, this is 1 or 2 people. Like, it is a lot of people. And all that money is just, it's literally just robbery.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. That's all. I feel like those people should be personally held accountable.
I mean, it's fraud.
That's what I would call it. Like, yeah, literally, this is fraud, But also, I think it'd be freaking dope, man, if you just gave 180,000 homeless people like $100,000 each.
That would be a good reality show. Again, you gotta put the tracker on them. You gotta put the tracker on them and get them to agree to wear GoPros 24/7. Just, dude, at least half of them would be dead in a week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can spend it on whatever you want. You can go buy a sports car. You can go pay, $50,000 for a rehab for 2 or 3 months. Like, you could go down payment on a house, like whatever you want to do.
Spend it on meth.
Spend it on meth. Get all the trank you need, and you'll be all right. And then we can shut down that $5 million homeless bar they started.
Yeah,
And be like, everybody's paying now.
Be like, $6 a shot now, bitch. I know you ain't broke. I know you got the money.
You got more money than I do, goddamn.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that is a ton of money. Just like the fact of knowing that like they could have turned, 20,000 people into like what, millionaires?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Or
Like,
I mean,
what are you?
the 180,000 into give them all 100K.
100K, yeah. And then especially when you look at like the average saving on like American citizen today, it's insanely
paycheck to paycheck,
insanely low. Yeah, dude. Especially when you get into our age range, it's kind of sad actually. I mean, it's just harsh reality, you know.
Yeah.
But
it ain't getting any better.
Yeah, like I mean, most Americans, you know, are only one bad electricity bill from starting an OnlyFans. So.
And most of them do not have the bodies.
Yeah. Dude, that fact that you pulled, I don't know, did we talk about it on the show? I think we might have. The fact that you pulled about OnlyFans where it was like the
average person on OnlyFans makes $100 over their entire career.
Like, talk about putting yourself out there, possibly ruining like your reputation and like all the, you know what I mean? Like your career, your kids, you know, if you have them, like, you know, they're gonna friends see that stuff for $100.
I paid $2 and saw your mom's titties.
Yeah, dude. So, but I don't know, man. California, they
really don't have it figured out.
Not at all, man. But you know, I mean, if the problem, they clearly could have solved this problem.
Yeah, but they don't want to. It's a money making scam. Because they always know. I mean, like it's been said multiple times, there are ways to solve these problems, but it's not financially beneficial to solve the problem.
Yeah, it's like we could stop war, but we're not.
But where do we get the money?
Yeah, like, you know, all these factories and all these companies built around producing like all these weapons, like we're just gonna make them stop?
Yeah,
I don't think
that ain't gonna happen. They're never gonna agree to that shit.
But yeah, man. So, but yeah, I don't know. You think there's any hope for California, man? You think they'll ever come out of all this crap?
No, I was looking. Apparently, we'll have to look into this for a future video. But apparently, there's like a meteor or asteroid coming for California in the year like 2036, and it's gonna wipe them off the fucking map.
How much more evidence of a god do you need? You know, like the biblical plagues that are falling down on California, man. Between like all the COVID lockdown shit they did, the earthquakes, you know,
the fires.
Now you got like
the homeless, free booze.
And I like to think Gavin Newsom is actually the physical personification of the Antichrist.
I mean, he needs to be investigated.
They need to look into his shit.
Yeah, they need to do a DNA test on that dude. I'm not even sure he's a fucking human.
I'm actually kind of worried that guy's going to run for president one day. I think he's going to do it.
I bet you're right on that.
He's at least going to run. I'm not going to say he's going to win.
Yeah.
But that guy winning, dude, that is bad news, brother. Like, oh no.
Yeah, like you really need to invest in your personal protection if that guy gets elected.
I follow him on X. And the shit that he posts, like, it's so hard to like stomach just to read. Like, he posted some shit the other day talking about how you know how everyone is like leaving California and stuff like that, right? And
all the smart people.
Yeah.
Well, all the hardworking.
The people who can afford it.
Yeah.
You know, they're getting the fuck out.
Yeah.
And but he made a post talking about how basically it was bullshit, and during like the last, I think it was like last month or like maybe the last couple of months or whatever, last quarter or something, they had a positive 75,000 people move to California.
We got no shit. They were immigrants.
Yeah, and I was just like, dude, what are you talking about here? And then you all posted some shit about their numbers, and they said that they have, like, California has like the highest rate of rentals for trucks that leave the state and never return. And they were like,
making bank.
Yeah, dude. I bet it's kind of a bitch to get those trucks back out there.
Probably.
Though, man. But like, yeah, dude. Yeah, but it's kind of funny seeing you all like, you know, post some shit or whatever and be like, cool. But whatever, man.
Our numbers have never been greater.
I just think Gavin Newsom is just like, he's just completely full of shit, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
Completely full of shit. And
like, talk about someone that does not have the interest of the people at heart.
Yeah, and the thing is like, he's not like Biden where he's just like old and kind of incompetent.
No, like he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
He does.
And that's what makes it even worse, man. You know? And I don't know why they keep voting for him in that state, man. Why?
I mean,
how?
You know he's got the homeless vote. Like,
yeah, no shit. Well, yeah, you know, homeless can vote. Maybe that's what this is all about. Dude, maybe it's the election coming up, dude. And they need numbers because they know. Look at all the people who are like moderate Democrats are like, I'm not voting for Biden. Like, that's do any moderate amount of research online, and there's a lot of shit showing, man, that that dude is slipping real bad, man.
Yeah.
So,
but not according to his ex.
Yeah, no shit,
dude.
right?
I get alerts on his it'll be like Biden's crushing Trump in the polls this week.
It's literally propaganda,
dude. Yeah, I feel like I'm literally just watching some CCP type shit.
And then especially when you realize the majority of those polls only poll around like 2,000 people. Dog, you ain't gonna get.
And they're all literally diehard liberals.
Yeah, they're like very selectively.
Yeah, exactly.
Pick a city they're gonna do.
Yeah, like they just go to pro-Palestinian rallies and are like,
"Hey, you guys want to take a poll
you
real
voted
quick?
for Biden? You like that guy, right? Okay, cool."
But I don't know, man. Gavin Newsom, he's just full of shit, dude. And every interview, when he gets asked like direct questions, he's just so wormy. I'm like,
I mean, he's a politician through and through. He knows how to fucking skirt those questions and worm his way around things and keep doing what he's doing.
I mean, obviously he's doing something right for his best interest because he remains in power, you know, and you want to talk about some of the most powerful people in the country, like on the big scheme of things, he's one of them.
Yeah,
you know?
he is.
One of the largest states that we have, you know, I think it's the largest amount of electoral votes that we get out of there.
Yep.
And I don't know, but my thing is like people just need to vote wisely, man, you know.
Yeah, they need to take their heart out of it, I guess, and vote with their mind.
But you got to remember, man, the Terminator ran as a Republican and was the governor for a long time. So there's hope. It just has to be the right person.
Yeah.
You know, because there's obviously you have to be competent and like capable of doing the job, but then you also have to have like a charisma and entertaining aspect to you as well, you know. But I don't know, man. Maybe there is hope, but I just don't see it, man. Especially Gavin Newsom in charge, and then I got all the city council in San Francisco.
Short term, doomed. Maybe there's hope for later on down the road, but right now, I mean, they're heading in a steady downward trajectory.
You got like a fucking meteor that's about to come hit you.
Yeah, like the old airplane with no wings.
Everything's fine, you know. But
we still have one engine.
Dude, oh my God. I bet like the circles that follow Gavin Newsom, like if we ever went to like one of these like parties or whatever, if we were ever at one of those, I bet we would just puke in our like own mouths, dude. Like you couldn't even stomach those. Those aren't normal people, man.
No,
like, they're actual like psychos. You know what I mean? But I don't know. All I'm saying, somebody needs to dig into his past, like because I mean, there's obviously. I would imagine there's questionable money coming in or going out somewhere.
I'm sure that there has to be.
I don't know, man. You want to get on to our next politicians, or do you want to talk about the other IG video? Which one are you thinking?
Yeah, let's continue on to the politics stuff, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
While we're still on
because if we do like the other IG video, it'll like shift gears like way too much or whatever. We can just save it for next time.
Yeah,
we still got a while for that. Okay, so next subject, man. Our two favorite people in the world, President Joe
Everybody's
Biden.
hometown heroes.
America's favorite sweetheart, Joe Biden, and Donald Trump.
The debate is on.
The debate is on, man. And it's the geriatric showdown of the century, dude.
And people are loving it. So let's just watch this video because he says it all himself. We don't even need to talk after this.
He's talking some shit, talking some mad game, dude.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Oh, man.
I heard you're free on Wednesdays, just calling him out.
Is that a dig at the court stuff? Do they not have court on Wednesdays?
That might be. That actually, if that is, that's actually kind of clever.
I mean, he didn't make that shit up, but
yeah. So
make my day, Donald. Give me a break, dude. I love how he just starts out with a lie.
Yeah, I already beat him twice. I'm like, There was one you could see it could go either way in my opinion, but you could clearly tell Biden was hyped up on some shit, man.
Yeah.
For sure. And but I don't know. I'm just so glad they're going to debate. And the first debate is on the 27th, right?
Of June?
Yeah, next month. Yeah,
yep.
June 27th. And I think the one after that, because I think they already agreed to the second one.
There's 2 of them. The next one is September 10th.
Yeah, and then there should be a third, because they always do 3.
Right closer to the...
Yeah, it'll probably be in October sometime. Yeah. Because the last 2 are usually a couple of weeks apart, a week apart or so, something like that. So, but yeah, dude, June 27th, man, we're going to have a watch party. We're going to do that, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Like, that's one of the best. I mean, you can't. Entertainment doesn't get better than that shit.
Yeah. I thought about us doing it live on our show, but like, because it is a debate, I want to hear what they say. I don't want to be us like talking the entire time. And it's an hour long. It'll probably be about an hour long. So I just think it'd be better to just let them do it, and then we'll pick out our highlights and we'll go through it. And God, that's gonna give us so much crap to talk about.
I know, dude. It's like the best content ever. Like, they're two people that everyone knows. Everyone either loves or fucking hates. Like.
Dude, and like the debates, I don't know, dude. They're starting to get better and better as time goes on.
I wonder who is the the enunciator, not that, but the mediator.
The mediator.
Who's the mediator for the first one? Because ABC's doing the September one, but I don't know who's doing the June one.
I don't know. I have to go and look into it. They might not even decided yet.
You know, I wish Joe Rogan would do that shit.
Dude, if they had Joe Rogan, Lex Friedman, and then like, well, who else do you think?
Theo Vaughn.
Or Tim Dillon up there too.
Tim would be good.
Yeah, that would be. America would get some answers if that happened, dude.
Yeah.
They would straight up get some answers, dude. Maybe put Bill Burr there. Just like a panel, like 5 comedians. And anytime they
Tony Hinchcliffe.
That would be holy shit. That could be like a pay-per-view thing, man.
I mean, yeah, I would sure as shit pay for
like,
that.
hey, we'll have one debate you got to pay for, or I don't know if they can actually really do that.
That's a good point.
But which is why we can make fun of presidents and with impunity, is because it's in the public domain.
They're a public figure.
You know?
All bets are off.
Like finding out that like you can use a president's name like anytime, like once they set foot in office, like you can use their name anytime, anyhow you want. So the term Trump can actually be used on just about anything, and you can't get sued. So that was kind of cool. I was like, sweet. But I also don't want to fuck with it because he'd be the kind of guy that would just file a lawsuit even if he knew he was going to lose. Just to,
I mean, at this point, man, I think he would be happy to just stay out of the courts at this point.
He's the God I never want to see another fucking courtroom again. So, but yeah, man. So do I even need to ask who do you think is going to win the first debate? Because
again, I know we've talked about it, but they need to make them sit up there to let the drugs wear off. They need to fucking be able to mute both parties, which they're probably not going to do. I don't know why. They have the capabilities. I don't understand why they just let each other... Like, 'cause, like, the last debates, it was a fucking shit show, man.
Yeah.
It was a waste of fucking time.
It literally just needs to be... They got a green light and a red light at their podium.
And their mics are muted. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just got to be far enough apart where you can't even hear... If they try to yell, so you can't even hear it on the other mic, dude.
Put them in some goddamn soundproof box.
Yeah.
You'll lift the box when it's their turn
Dim
to
their
talk.
light on top of them or something.
They're just in a black box like a fucking mime.
Turn it into like some sort of like weird theater.
Yeah.
It's like,
Be flashing the light at them. You're like, your time's coming up.
Like it's like a fucking comedy show.
Yeah.
Like you got 1 minute left. Like you get the light or whatever to get off stage.
And then I know you were talking about it, but like RFK is apparently claiming he's going to be able to debate.
I saw
know, man.
On his X, he posted that he met the qualifications to be in the debates and that he was going to be in the debates. But I have not seen a single mainstream media company mention that at all. So I don't know.
He may be qualified to enter the debate, but will he be allowed to debate is the question.
I hope. Because if he gets in there, that's truly, in my opinion, that's the debate America needs. The 3 of them going.
And again, if they all get to speak their fucking turn and not overshadow each other and get their own actual questions and fucking time to talk. But
yeah, dude.
Personally, I don't see that happening.
No,
I think it's probably gonna be a shit show 2.0, but it'll still be funny as fuck.
And it sucks too for like the candidates because. Especially, you see this a lot like in the primaries, especially in the Republican primaries. Dude, the people who try to be respectful, I'm like, okay, like I'll wait and speak my turn or whatever.
They just end up getting no time to talk.
No time to talk, and they just get pushed out, man. Like, and it's just like cool. Like,
and Trump is the king of just over talking the entire fucking time too.
Wrong.
Yeah, dog shit.
Got a dog wife.
God.
Yeah, dude. But I actually think that if RFK Jr., as long as they can all have their time to actually speak, and it, say muted mics or whatever, if RFK Jr. is on that stage, I think he will sweep the floor with both of them, man.
He would be the most coherent and like thought-provoking person on the stage.
Because you're not going to get that from Biden, right?
No, and you're not going to get it from Trump.
You're not.
Trump's going to have entertaining. He I like listening to him talk.
Yeah.
He's a good speaker. He's funny, but I mean, he's funny at the end of the day. Like,
and then like really,
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say like anything outside of money, you know, maybe some like foreign affairs stuff. But
foreign stuff.
Like, there's no.
But if
you know what I mean, like
and at the end of the day, like,
has the guy ever taken a science class? I mean,
both of the guys, we pretty much know what they're gonna say. Like, we know their stances, we know how they feel about shit.
Yeah.
Like, what are we gonna hear?
But like RFK, like the fucked up part is like he could actually get on that stage and do that. And then the thing is he spent like majority of his life as an environmental lawyer.
Yeah,
he wrote that book, The Real Anthony Fauci. He get a lot of detail in that shit, man.
Which was true because he ain't sued. So.
Yeah, dude. And I'm telling you, like, especially coming after all this COVID shit, because that was a big thing in my opinion. That you know, that's how Biden got in office.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is like, the American people deserve answers because we've been dicked around. Like all the data and stuff is sealed for 75 years. You know what I mean? Like,
which how can you say that with a straight face?
Yeah, all these weird health issues have clearly been popping up, and there's trends. Not saying the vaccine caused it, but when you have a lot of young people dying of like sudden cardiac arrest, and it's like, oh, they just happen to get the vaccine.
And
like
that most of the shit that they've said, they've since gone back on, like the lab leak shit, which did not fucking happen. And they're like, you know, it happened.
And it's just interesting enough because, like, Bobby Kennedy could actually have those coherent arguments.
He could, because he's actually able to think for himself and create coherent thoughts and string sentences together.
You know, so I don't know. I think it's going to tell you a lot about America if he's actually on the stage or not.
But even then, he can be on there and still win the debate. But do you think he's going to win the fucking election?
I think if he got into the debate and he kicked both their asses, I think he's still, especially if he did it on all three debates, I think he would stand a very fucking competitive chance of doing it, man. But as it stands right now, like, because he's not even on the ballot in all 50 states yet.
I know.
He's on the ballot, so I think, like 14 or something.
So he has no chance.
Yeah.
As of now.
He claims that he's going to be on all 50, that he can do it.
Which, again, he probably has the right to, but are they going to allow him to? Which is insane to think about.
I mean, the reality is like, if he debates, and let's say hypothetically he's on all 50 ballots, is he going to win the election? And my answer to that is going to be no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But by just having him on all 50 ballots as an independent candidate, and then him having those debates and asking real questions or giving real answers that the American people need, that opens a whole nother door. You know what I mean? That's some shit like politicians aren't really fucking used to. You know, it's almost kind of like a similar effect as when Trump came along and was just like telling people to fuck off, and they were like, wait, you can do that?
Like,
you know?
Shaking things up. Like.
Yeah, so I don't know. But then again, you know, I mean, a lot of people just don't really care, man. So
yeah, that's another thing. Is a lot of people, they're like Trump or Biden, die hard, whatever.
I think the reality, I think it's probably more than likely just going to be Trump and Biden up there, and I think Trump is probably going to beat the ever living shit out of Biden, dude. It's going to be embarrassing for Biden.
I mean, it's going to be, I'm sure, you know, Trump's going to say some shit and make a fool of himself, too. Which will be funny.
Yeah.
But
it's going to be entertaining as shit, no matter
100%.
what.
100%.
Which is still scary because it's like, this is the fate of, like, our country. Right?
Yeah, and it's basically just like a fucking comedy show. It's like, it like beats out on the fucking roast of Tom Brady type shit.
Yeah, like, dude. It's like, what the hell are we doing here, man? You know? But I think that's how it's going to go down. I did see, I don't know if you saw it, where Trump is basically demanding, but he can't really make any demands for the debate. He can just decide that he's not going to debate. That Biden takes a drug test before.
Yeah.
And my thing is, why isn't that already happening? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta...
And again, why should that be... Okay, in any regular job,
dude,
you take a drug test.
To pitch snail mail at the fucking post office, you gotta piss in a cup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But not to be the commander-in-chief.
Like, you know? And my thing is, like, why doesn't, like, these news companies, like ABC, like, okay, we're going to host these debates. I would be like, hey, we would love to have you on. You got to piss in a cup before you... They have that power. They could do that.
I know.
And then if the candidate was like, hey, I'm not going to be on the stage, they can just... They're the news. They can just come out and be like, hey, we wanted them to come on the debate.
He wouldn't take a piss test.
Wouldn't take a piss test. That's all you need to know.
Be like, we need piss blood, and hair.
Yeah, and my thing is, like, the president is a federal employee. I don't know. I mean,
I'm just saying, if anybody in the military failed a drug test or wouldn't take a drug test, your ass is gone.
Beat that dude in the streets, you know?
But if you're going to go up there being all the main decisions, I guess you can just do whatever the fuck you want to. Which, again, is that separation of power, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect them. It affects us peons.
Yeah, I know, man. I don't know. I am excited about it. It is only a month away, too.
Yeah. It'll be good.
So, whatever happens, it's going to be entertaining.
Oh, for sure.
And you and I, Moses, we're actually just going to get together and we're going to watch it live because that just has to happen.
Yeah.
Get some popcorn, maybe a 6-pack.
It's part of a job.
It's literally like, hey, we're actually working.
Yeah. Count that off as a work expense on our taxes.
Holy shit.
Good to go.
Yeah. I don't know. I am curious to see how Biden performs, though, and what claims he makes.
I am too, but again, they need to make him sit up there for 2 hours before they start the debate.
But all this legal shit, whether you want to believe it's true or not, or if it's, just trumped up charges, whatever the hell it may be, which basically anybody with half a brain can tell that, like, these are all bullshit charges that they have on Trump. But anyway, his legal predicaments that he's found himself in are going to become like a center focus of that debate.
For sure. Biden's just going to be pointing that out the whole time, and any hard question is going to get avoided and fucking sidetracked into playing the blame game or doing like, you said this or you did this.
But then Biden's got a significant disadvantage because if you just, for example, look at the state of the world, like with just foreign policy right now.
Yeah, it's in like fucking good.
All the conflicts that have broken out, like the Israel-Ukraine shit, like the fucking, we just tons of shit, man. Like there's just tensions happening everywhere.
And either way, it's pretty divided on like people hate him for one way or the other.
Yeah.
Like people are pissed about the Russia-Ukraine thing. People are pissed about the Palestine-Israel thing. Like on both sides of that.
Yeah.
So
that's a no-win situation.
No, it really isn't.
So it's probably why Trump wanted to stay out of that shit. It's like, what do you mean I can't win? We're not going in.
We bomb them both into discussion.
I just like impersonating the dude.
He's funny, man.
He's a fucking entertainer, dude. And I think that's what people forget. Like, he made a huge living. Obviously he did real estate development, but he was a huge, like, medium, like, star. Yeah, dude. So, dude, I saw Tom Green do some stand-up one time where he talked about getting fired from The Apprentice because Donald Trump ran that show.
Mm-hmm.
And he just talks about how he was fired by the President of the United States. And it was just crazy. Like, I went back and saw the clips and stuff, and Trump just hated Tom Green. Just hated him, like, so much. It was just like, you're an idiot. Like, get out of here or whatever, Oh, man. But I don't know, man. These debates are going to go down, so one way or another, it's going to be entertaining. But as always, man, I'm all about being positive, dude.
We have positive things to look forward to.
All right.
So
June 27th is one of them.